Oh boy, so you guys have probably seen these headlines over the past couple of days saying that TikTok and WeChat were hacked and that some of TikTok's backend source code, as well as 2 billion people's account information and records, were leaked onto the internet by a hacking group known as Against the West. But it appears that this data breach was actually fake, or at least not what the hacker was claiming it was on Breached. And right now, Against the West is actually permabanned from Breached for lying about data breaches. Imagine getting banned from a black hat hacking forum. Like, holy cow. Now, earlier today, or I think yesterday, TikTok themselves came out and they said that the data breach that everyone's talking about was fake. Their security team apparently investigated it, and yeah, they said that this has nothing to do with us. The code that was posted and the GitLab that people have been looking at is completely unrelated to what TikTok is actually running on their back end. And, you know, at first I thought that TikTok coming out and denying them, I thought that that was just them taking a play from the CCP's book and, you know, sweeping this incident under the rug and then waiting until enough time has passed to then just deny that it ever happened. And maybe if people keep talking about it, you send them to a re-education camp, because clearly those people are crazy. They're talking about an event that never happened. But despite the risk to my social credit score, I actually went ahead and downloaded the samples of this alleged database leak. In case you guys don't know, anytime a database leak happens, typically the hackers will post samples to try to prove that it is actually real, and also because typically they're going to want to sell those databases, right? A breach like this, if it was real, if it actually did have billions of people's records, could probably sell for thousands, tens of thousands of dollars. So yeah, you give them that little sample. It's kind of like in, you know, Breaking Bad when they do the line of the meth to see how good it is. So we can go through this, and I shouldn't even have to censor anything because, well, like I said, there's no personal data that's actually in here. So let's go into the WeChat sample first. And right now I'm sorting these by size because, of course, the largest one is most likely what's going to have the most data in it. So this is 9.5 megabyte CSV file. Let us see what is inside. And yeah, we'll just go ahead and open this. Okay, so over here in this column, we have an ID. Not sure what kind of ID it is. Okay, this is way too long to be a phone number, and it doesn't look like it's a WeChat ID because those tend to be alphanumeric. Owner and the WX ID, these appear to be base 64 encoded. Also, not sure what these are supposed to be. They don't look like anything that's actually important. Then we have this big head image URL. So I put some of these into my browser, and occasionally it goes to some kind of a picture like this, or this, or this, or this. Not really sure what these are supposed to be. Maybe profile pictures or something like that, because the small head image URL is a smaller version of that. It's like I don't know, like an actual profile picture, whereas this is the more enlarged one. But most of those links don't even go to an actual picture. Most of them will actually just go to this, which is, I guess, some kind of a placeholder for when that image is missing. So I don't even know like what these are supposed to be. Maybe they're WeChat accounts, but there's no personal info attached to them. And the profile pictures missing tells me that it's either people that don't really use their accounts, or maybe it's I don't know. I don't know what it is. So we have their sex as not even a Boolean. There's 3 options here, so I don't know what's going on here. There's another WX ID, and then there's some other strings that are just useless. Like the closest thing to personal info is maybe the country, province, and city. That I don't know, maybe this is where the accounts were initially created. And then we have this nick, which I think might be a WeChat nickname, but most of these are not filled out, and I have no idea what's with all of the question marks. I don't know, maybe people who use WeChat are really into using question marks. So look at this, Satan. Satan apparently lives in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So there you go. Satan's on WeChat and he's in Philly. But yeah, there's no interesting data in this whatsoever. And this is the case for all of these user friend requests. Like if we open this one, we get the same deal, right? There's no new data that we're finding in here. And also, if I look at this create time and this pass time, this is 2020. So even if this is data that goes to something, it's old data. So now those are the user friend requests. And then we can look at something like the TB order data cluster. So if I go to this, or I go into this, this kind of looks like the data came from maybe an e-commerce website. Like this kind of looks like what you would get from the orders database. Not sure what these IDs and trade parent IDs are. This item image, this goes to AliExpress. So like, this is basically what you'll get. This is just one of the random item images. So that's not any sensitive data, of course. Item title, like this isn't even anything relevant. Like there's no tracking info, there's no addresses, there's no credit card numbers. We've got links to, I think, Taobao. I'm not really familiar with that website, but as far as I know, it's kind of the same idea as AliExpress, cheap Chinese stuff. And again, it's from 2020, so it's all old data. Nothing interesting in the WeChat folder, but you know, hardly anyone in the West even uses WeChat anyway. Let's go to TikTok. That should be the juicy one. So we go into the biggest one, again, TikTok video username parse record. And we open this up. But if we start going through the columns, again, we're not really getting anything interesting. There's no passwords here. There's no user data that would be private user data. There's video descriptions, which, you know, when I was looking at this at first, it kind of confused me because everything is in Vietnamese. I can't read Vietnamese, but now that emojis are enabled, and if we take a look at the hashtags, we could see that this is all just a bunch of gay stuff. So this this data leak is not only fake, but it's also gay and Vietnamese. So I have no idea what Against the West was doing when he leaked this. I think he might have mixed up his TikTok data leak with his secret stash of his favorite gay Vietnamese TikTokers. But yeah, no personal data is in here either. This is all stuff that is publicly accessible, right? Like if I had to guess where this data came from, he probably scraped it, you know, using some kind of a TikTok scraper. That data is just not very useful though, because again, it's something that you can see if you just use the TikTok app. So yeah, we have come to an age where now hackers are lying about their achievements as well. We've got models on Instagram that are using Photoshop and filters to try to look more beautiful than they really are. We've got fitness influencers using fake weights to seem stronger than they really are. And now hackers are just putting together random databases that don't have any important information to pretend like they're more elite than they actually are. But you know, honestly, I feel like we could have seen this coming, right? We should have known that this post by Against the West was cap, because this hacker ranks very low on the patented mental outlaw cybersecurity threat assessment scale. All you have to do is look at his profile picture. The more kawaii it is, the more skilled the hacker, and this profile picture is not very kawaii at all. In fact, I'd go so far as to say that this is a normie profile picture. Definitely not somebody who's going to be capable of hacking TikTok. Let me know when maybe a hacker with the alias Mao-chan claims to be hacking TikTok and their profile picture is Mao wearing his elephant suit. Then, maybe then, I'll be able to take them seriously, because the TikTok data breach is definitely coming. There's a whole bunch of security flaws that Microsoft found and then announced that they patched, but I'm sure during that window of TikTok being vulnerable, somebody went in and probably ended up gathering some data. We're just waiting for them to post about them. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.